In this video, I'm going to show you how to properly clean and lube your DY9. The tools you'll need to do this are paper towels. And the paper towels that I use are mechanic paper towels. They're a lot bigger. They're also thicker and they don't leave as much lint behind. I also cut them up in larger pieces and smaller pieces. Next, you're going to need a cleaning rod with a 9mm jag on it. You'll also need a bronze brush, again in 9mm. Next, you're going to need a cleaning tool. This cleaning tool has like a flat edge to it, and then on the other side it's pointy. This is really good for getting in those hard to reach areas. You'll also need barrel patches. These are good for getting CLP inside the barrel. You also need Q-tips. Q-tips I use have a round end and a pointy end. And the pointy end is really good for getting CLP in hard to reach areas. Next, you'll need a CLP. I like using CLPs because they're a cleaner and lubricant. Keep in mind that this DY9 is brand new and you may not see a lot of fouling coming off of it. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our barrel patch and we're going to put some CLP onto this barrel patch. Take our cleaning rod and put the patch on the end of the jag like this. Grab our barrel and then we're going to send this patch through the barrel. And we're just going to put a coating of CLP through the barrel. You're just going to do this like a couple times. That's it. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to coat the full length of the inside of the barrel. So when you push it in, you're going to try to go all the way to the end. When you see it start coming out, come on back. You're only going to do that a few times and that's it. So now what I like to do is I like to put the other side that was not through the barrel, and I like to wipe down the outside of the barrel. Just like this. And I wipe off the feeding ramp and this whole area like that. Then I go to the front of the barrel and just wipe off the very front. And that's it. Now, if you have the island slide barrel, you are going to do the same exact process that we just did with the regular DY9 barrel. The only difference is you'll take one of these Q-tips with the pointy end and you'll add some CLP to it. And you're going to put a coating into each one of these ports. You have to keep these ports clean, otherwise the carbon will build up and then you won't see as much performance as you did when you first purchased it. So you just put the pointy end of the Q-tip and you twist it, go to the next one, and so on and so forth, just trying to get a nice coating of the CLP in there. The reason why we put the coating of CLP on the inside of the barrel and we let it sit is this way the CLP has time to actually work. And what that's doing, it's breaking down the lead and the fouling inside the barrel. Now that we have a coating of the CLP on the inside and outside of the barrel, we can clean all the other parts of the pistol and let the CLP do its work. Once we're done, we'll come back and we'll finish cleaning the barrel. Next, we're going to start cleaning the slide. And how I do that is I pick up one of the larger pieces of paper towel and I just wipe off the outside of the slide. And as you can see, this one, like I said, isn't really that dirty. The one thing you want to do is make sure you wipe in this area too. And then right here, and we're still pretty clean. Now we're going to clean the internals. Same thing, you're just going to try to get the bulk off of the slide. And you really can't reach too many of the hard to reach areas with your fingers. Next, I take my finger and I just put it like this. And I do that kind of twisting motion like that on both of these holes. And that's it. Next, I take my finger and I put it right here. I'm just rubbing it like that. You can see some of the fouling came off. And that's it. Now keep in mind, if your DY9 is much dirtier, you may have to do a couple more passes. But what you're trying to do is get the bulk off of the pistol. It doesn't have to be spotless. It just has to be clean enough to function reliably. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take one of the small patches like this and take the cleaning tool and we're going to fold the patch over like this, take the flat side and we're going to fold the patch over like that. And we're just going to get into all the corners. So like here, here, and we're just going to run this around and get pretty much in anything that has a corner. So I'm passing it through here, 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 and here. That's all I'm really doing. Just like that. Then I grab another clean side, and I'm going to do the corners here and in here. Like that. Now, again, get another clean portion of the paper towel. And what we're going to do is, we're going to run that through the rails right here, and then same thing on this side, right in here where the rail is. So fold it over. Again, making sure you're using the flat side. You don't want to use the pointy side because the flat side will fit better into the channel. And you're just going to go back and forth, just like that, all the way through. So from the very beginning all the way to the end. Take it out. You can see there's a lot of fouling in there. Fold this over. And then do it one more time. I think I'll do it one more time and I'm done. Okay. Yep. And it's getting lighter. Again, you don't have to go crazy. You're just trying to make sure that you get the bulk out of there. So now I'm going to open this up, fold it to the other side, and I'm going to try to do the same thing, but I'm doing it for the opposite side this time. There you go. You can see there's a lot of fouling there. So fold it over, do it again. This side wasn't as bad. One more time, and then we're done. There you go. There's a couple areas I like to get. So it's going to be right here and right here. And then also underneath the extractor right here. So it's all along this area. Get a brand new piece of paper towel. You have your paper towel folded over the flat side, and we're just going to try to get into each one of those corners. So that's the first one, and here's the second one. Okay, so I got both here and here, and then we're going to flip it over, and we're going to do the other side, just like this. Okay, and then I'm going to do directly underneath this extractor. Let's see. Fold it over, and then we're going to place it under like this. You might be able to see it better in this direction. And we're just going under like this and just trying to knock out any of the fouling that's under. Again, this one was pretty clean. One last area is right here and in here. This time I'm going to take the pointy part and I'm going to wrap it around like this and just get into that corner around this plunger. Push this down, go around. That's it. So all I did was I pushed down and then I got into the corner right here. You can see as I'm doing this, the plunger's going up and down like that. And I did the same thing for this side. That's it. So now that we have the inside and the outside clean, I also like to take a few drops of CLP and add it to the slide, and I like to rub in the CLP into all the nooks and crannies of the slide. This won't stay on the slide. What this is going to do is I'm going to let the CLP start working on taking the fouling off, and then at the end we're going to wipe this all off. This is just basically going to help preserve the finish of your slide, and it's going to help clean it and make the finish look even nicer. So we're going to let this sit while we clean the frame. As a side note, if you have one of the island slide barrel setups for your slide, how you're going to clean this differently than your regular DY9 slide is you're going to take one of these pointy Q-tips and you're going to get into each one of these lightning cuts, and you're going to wipe it down just like that. And you're going to go through each one of these lightning cuts, even this one up here. And that's what you're going to do. Also, this area where it's been cut out for the barrel, you're going to do the same thing. You're just going to wipe this down like that. That's the only difference with cleaning this slide versus the original slide. We're going to take one of the larger pieces of paper towel and we're going to wipe down the frame. And again, make sure you're trying to get into all these nooks and crannies, like that, around the trigger guard, inside the trigger guard, around the trigger. You're just trying to wipe everything down. Okay. And then what I do is set this aside for now, grab one of the smaller patches, put it over your finger like this, and then you're going to go inside the mag well, and you're going to just go in and out, and you're going to turn it around. You're basically just trying to clean the entire inside of the mag well. Now, if let's say I did this and it was extremely dirty, I would flip it over like this, and I would go back in there and try to clean it some more. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to go in from this end right here. Keep in mind, you don't want to be too rough. You just want to get in there and wipe off anything you can. And that's it. Next, what we're going to do is take the larger piece of paper towel and we're going to try to get on the inside of the frame and the top. So you're just wiping off the top, and anywhere your fingers will fit in, like right here or top here. Like I said, this one really wasn't that dirty, so I'm not seeing a lot coming off. And that's it. So now I take a new piece of paper towel. We're going to fold this over like we did before. Wrap this around the flat end of your cleaning tool. And we're just going to try to take off any fouling that we see. So again, this one was pretty clean. I'm going to put this into this area right here. And I'm just going to wipe it around like this. And that's it. Next, I'm going to wipe off this part right here and along this silver bar and under here. Wrap this around. I'm just going to go in that same area I just told you about. Dead center. Go up and down. Now I'm going to go over all the stuff right here. Again, nothing really looks that dirty. Next, we're going to take the flat side of the cleaning tool, wrap it around here like this. And what we're doing is we're going to take that flat piece and rub it underneath each one of these rails on both sides. And it's going to look like this, like that. Now this is breaking up. So because this is breaking up, I'm just going to get a new piece. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I don't want it to leave any type of lint behind. So once your piece of paper towel starts to fray, just get a new piece. Switch it over to this side. Get underneath here. Underneath here. Yeah, it really wasn't that dirty at all. Okay, and we're going to clean our recoil spring. How I do that is grab one of these smaller pieces of paper towel and you're going to wrap it around like this. Now, I don't squeeze really hard with this hand. I'm just putting light pressure, and what I'm going to do is go to the end like this, and then I'm going to turn the recoil spring like this, and I'm pushing it in. And that's it. Next, I take this part, rub that down, go to the other end, rub that down. That's it. Next, let's wipe down our magazine. Let's take the clean side. We're just going to wrap this around, and we're just going to wipe the outside down. Wipe the bottom down, and then I also take my fingers and I rub it into this area right here, because normally that'll get pretty dirty. Again, this is brand new, so it's really not going to be that dirty. Now we can finish cleaning the barrel. The CLP had plenty of time to clean the outside and the inside of the barrel. So now what I do is I take the cleaning rod and I take the jag off and I put the bronze brush on. Now, the one thing I would recommend is taking all the parts that were cleaned and setting these aside, so this way they don't get dirty again. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take the bronze brush and we're going to insert it into the barrel like this. and we're going to run the bronze brush through and back. And all you're going to do is you're going to do this like maybe like 5 or 7 times. So then you can take the bronze brush off and put the jag back on. So now we're going to take one of the barrel patches and put some CLP on it. And we're going to pass it through the barrel. Just a couple times back and forth, trying to get the full length. And there you go. You can see a lot of the fouling came off. And now I'm going to take a new barrel patch, but I'm going to keep this one dry and I'm going to send that through the barrel. Again, going through the full length of the barrel. Take that. Now this side went through. What I'm going to do is I'm going to send this side through. So put it on the jag like this, send it through. It got more of the fouling, and it's also taking the excess CLP out of the inside of the barrel. We're going to do that one more time. Okay, and you can see that's much better. So that's good enough for me. So now that the inside of the barrel has been cleaned, what we're going to do is we're going to take one of these smaller patches and we're going to just wipe down the outside of the barrel. And you can see there's really not much on the outside. Pretty much wiping down all the parts that we did earlier. Making sure to wipe the feeding ramp down. There's one extra part I would get. Fold the paper towel over the flat side. And I would go into this area right here. And just move this around. And there you go. Take some of that fouling off. But other than that, that's pretty much it. Earlier, I showed you how to add CLP to the ports of the island slide barrel. And now I'm going to show you how to remove them. Basically, it's the same process, but with a dry Q-tip. You're going to use the pointy end, go through each one of these barrel ports, and you're just going to twist like that. And then once you've done that, you have finished cleaning each one of these ports. Keep in mind that the process to clean the inside of this barrel is the same exact process for this one. The only difference is you're removing the CLP from each one of these ports. That's the only difference. So now we're officially done cleaning the barrel. Let's go back to the slide. And now what we're going to do is we're going to just wipe off the excess CLP. So we're going to take the clean paper towel and we're going to wipe off the excess CLP. And there you go. The slide is clean and everything is ready to be lubed up. Now I'm going to show you how to lubricate your DY9. So let's start with the slide. Let's take one of our Q-tips. We're going to use the end with the pointy side. We're going to add some CLP like that. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to lubricate this channel right here and here. All right. And so once you add your CLP to the pointy side of your Q-tip, you're going to just insert that to the rail right here. Give 2 passes. Do the same for this side like that. And that's it. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to flip this over and we're going to add some lubrication to this side. And we're going to add lubrication to any places that you see wear, like right here, right here. And then I'm going to add some right here along this part of the slide. And same thing on this side. The last area I would add CLP is right here. And this is where the barrel will pass through while you're firing. Now, the one thing I'm going to point out is that you don't want to get any CLP inside this channel right here. That has to stay as dry as possible. Now we could set down our slide. Now we could pick up our frame, get a new Q-tip, add some CLP to the pointy side. What we're going to do is we're going to add some CLP to each one of these rails, and we're going to add it on the top and the bottom right here. and right there. We're also going to add a little bit right here on this rail and underneath it, this rail and underneath. We're also going to add some, because you could see some wear in these areas, add some CLP here, some right here. We're going to add some right here on this, on here. Okay, I think we're done lubricating the frame. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to lubricate the barrel. Now how I normally do that is just by adding like 2 drops of CLP, and I just take my fingers and I just move the CLP around to coat every part of the barrel. I normally don't lubricate the feeding ramp. Some people do. I don't. Once you've done that, that's it. You have successfully cleaned and lubricated your DY9. Thanks for watching, and I hope this helps keep your DY9 clean and running reliably.